Public Works Committee meeting, 2:30 p.m. Welcome to all of our viewers and all of our city representatives here to speak on particular item numbers. I now call this meeting to order. Number 2, resolution declaring a 20-foot width remnant tract of land on approximately 0.475 acres running diagonally through an existing mobile home park in the Gilcrease Mobile Home Court subdivision as surplus and no longer necessary for any public use of purpose, and requesting the Asset Management Department to effect the sale of said property, City Council District 3. Any?
Roger Acebo with Asset Management, and I'd gone back and forth with you on
Yeah.
an email, sort of explaining the history of this. We were contacted by the owner that encompassing this narrow tract that runs north and south of the Platte. And at one time, back in 1970, there was, I think, a projected need for a sanitary sewer line to run through the community. It's a mobile home park, and for over 55 years, it's never been done. It's been serviced from outlying sewer lines. And so we were approached by the owner to surplus it and sell it to them. And from an asset management perspective, there's no objections. We put it through our utility review, and there was no objections as long as we have that continued easement that's already on the plat, and there is a sanitary sewer line running through it. As long as that remains, there's no objections.
Yeah, it's something to me that we now have this asset in the middle of a trailer park. And, gosh, what in the world could we possibly do with that?
Just surplus and sell it to the existing owner, but for the city's use, there is no use at this
Right.
time.
All righty, I appreciate it, thank you. Any questions, discussion? No? All right, moving on. Y'all want to do a park over there in my district?
Huh? What?
On this lot, this parcel?
Oh, is that right? Well,
Well, anyway, moving on to item 3, license agreement between the City of Tulsa and Scout 323 LLC and MidFirst Bank for property located at 321 East Reconciliation Way North. Tulsa Original Town Edition for installation of a MidFirst Bank ATM on a concrete foundation within the street right-of-way. CD1.
Very good. Paul Zachary, Public Works. Right across from the ballpark and right across, just adjacent to the building where Scout 323 LLC, it's the Gates building. The agreement is with actually, it's a three-way multiple. It is City of Tulsa. It is also MidFirst Bank, who is going to be the owner of the ATM, and then the Gates building tenants, and it has an entire list. And they've gone through, there's no objection by them having it here. It is out in the grass, outside the concrete sidewalk and the little retaining wall. It's going to be on a concrete pad, and it will have bollards all around it. It's about 100 foot south, 100 foot north of Elgin and Reconciliation Way, and it's, apparently there is a need to have an ATM in the area. And with that, we received no objections from any of the right-of-way occupants, any utilities, boards, or commissions. So we offered no objection to that, and we would request your approval and authorization of the license agreement to let the ATM be constructed.
All right. Are there any questions, discussions? We could all stand for an ATM in our neighborhoods.
there used to be a time when there was no ATMs, right?
I know. Payphones.
Wow.
Sure.
All righty.
Okay.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 4, discussion regarding consensus of the Tulsa City Council approving solicitation of donations and contributions for Council District 2, summer movie in the parks, and back to school bash.
Wonderful. This is my item.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, counselors. Kind of piggybacking on our last discussion about resources in communities, my desire is to partner with our Parks Department to have 2 amazing events in our parks. One, a movie night at Reed Park where we welcome families, individuals, folks to come and enjoy food, games, and watch a movie. We've not decided on what the movie is. But Reed Park, if you've ever been there, they have a tremendous outdoor space. There's grass, and then you can actually watch the movie in the inside. There's an auditorium where you can go. And then I'll describe the second event, and then we'll talk about why I think I need to solicit funds. That next week, I'd like to have a back-to-school gathering, a back-to-school bash at Celebration Park, which is in the River West apartments that have been built there. And so want to partner with the Pencil Box. We have YMCA, we have Sinclair, Ferguson, Sinclair's there, QT, and just try to bring some resources where kids in that community can get their backpacks and teachers can get school supplies. And so to make that happen, we need some donations. I want to be able to approach different corporate partners in the area, philanthropic partners in the area. Stacy and Dustin from our Parks Department, have been really helpful in sort of coordinating and helping us coordinate. We're at the very beginning stages right now of what that event can look like and sort of the licensing agreements for the movie and whatnot. But around Tulsa, the end of July into the early August, there'll be a number of back-to-school events and things that will be sponsored, but not in that Eugene Field area. And so this is kind of a spot that we can really we want to partner with our Tulsa Housing Authority and TPS. They can send it out in their app, and of course, I love to go door to door knocking and just inviting people. But it's just an opportunity to bring people together and build some community.
Perfect,
Oh,
all right.
I'll also say, we had our little presentation from IMSA. We could have resource booths
Yep.
there as well.
That's great.
Trying to connect people with some of those resources, so.
Excellent, I like it. Counselor Bellis?
I'm sorry, as I like continue snacking for my whole life. No, I was gonna ask about, this is like an administrative logistical question. Like, cause if it's soliciting the dollars into the city, I know that can get sticky to get them back in and out, which I'm sure the Parks Department, when they do events, has a mechanism for. But I wasn't sure if it was asking the dollars to go sit in, cause the Parks Department, I think, do they have a fund at the Community Foundation? I don't think Councilor Lakin.
I didn't even hear anything. I heard the last.
I know, you're like, I heard
words.
Community Foundation. No, no, I was trying to figure out, it's always that mechanism of if we're collecting donations, what makes them easiest for everyone to use. So when you mentioned Pencil Box, I was like, is it easiest for them to collect? Now, granted, again, I know the Parks Department's used to putting on events with dollars. I just wasn't sure for soliciting funds. Does the Parks Department have a fund?
They do,
At
they have
the-
Friends of the Park
Yeah,
Okay.
at
fine.
TCF.
But
Yeah,
is this us making it so they can solicit to go there? Or is this for them to come through the city?
Yeah, I don't quite understand this myself.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah, Laura.
I think that you will solicit to get whatever items you want donated, and then we have to go back and accept that donation.
This is
as
just
well.
giving the
Yeah,
council
this is just
permission to ask.
giving the
Jeannie used to
permission.
do this
Yeah,
a lot.
Right,
when this
that's why
went
I was just
forward.
checking though if it's,
But why isn't the community doing this on their own instead of coming through this venue?
well, that's what, not on their own, like, you, obviously city support.
Counselor Archie wants to be able to participate
Of course.
in asking.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So-
but he's already allowed to.
So-
But that's why-
So we
We have
as a
to allow
community
By the
member,
ethics
right?
ordinance, we have to say, like, we
He can't go
understand.
out and solicit
Yeah.
donations
Did you want
for
to
a
say-
particular event
I'm confused.
without our,
In your
Educate
official,
me.
in your official capacity.
No, well, that's why I was just
Oh, I
trying
got
to,
you.
that's why I was just trying, so this, he
I
can
got
then ask, but then the dollars can still go to like a nonprofit entity, is that? I was just trying to understand the mechanism.
Yes, Counselor Hall Harper's done this
Okay.
process, Counselor Q has done this process, I think they're the only ones in the time that I've been on that have done it this way.
Cool.
It's asking in your official capacity as a counselor.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, that was what I wasn't clear on, if this had to do with us then
Yeah.
accepting in dollars
I'd never
versus-
seen this before.
Yeah.
That's why I was
We used to do it
curious.
by resolution, I think. We didn't have this consensus thing.
Oh, as long as I've been here, it's been the consensus.
Okay.
Interesting.
but
Anyway, it's
Okay.
just,
Could have been done before me.
Cool.
it's just so we know that our colleague in their official capacity is doing these.
Yes.
All righty.
Go get 'em,
Counselor-
Tiger.
Absolutely.
Counselor Gilbert.
Jack, did you have a
Well, yeah, it's in
explanation?
council rules, so it says the approval of council is required prior to a council or employee soliciting gifts, et cetera, for non-city functions or programs while utilizing the name of the city of Tulsa or the Tulsa City Council. So if you're kind of, projecting that this is on behalf of the city council that you're soliciting these, that's what requires the approval.
Okay.
Okay,
That makes
Counselor
total
Gilbert?
sense.
Do you have a date set for the back to school bash?
So back to school would be Saturday, August 2nd.
Okay.
Thinking maybe 11 to 1. There've been some folks that have reached out, maybe I won't say it, but.
When it's super hot outside.
Well, I'll bring an umbrella
I
for
know.
them, but,
That's- That's
cooking,
Tulsa for you in the summer.
absolutely.
Oklahoma.
Have some hot dogs and some soda for them.
So there used to be a group that was, and I'll find it for you, but there was a group that was already doing that work over at River West. And they were doing back to school bashes for Eugene Fields and doing a bash for them at the end of the school year there in the park across from the management office
In
at River
celebration,
West.
yeah.
So there's, and I don't know if the same management people are still there or not. Maybe they have some information that they could share with you so
Yep.
that you don't have to reinvent the whole process, but.
Yeah,
That's great.
I think the Dream Center does that.
The Dream Center in North Tulsa and Dream Center West.
Yep.
So there are some back to school bashes happening in our district as a whole. We're gonna be working with THA to get the word out in Parkview Terrace. We have just other THA properties that will want those resources.
I have one more question for you. So for the movie licensing agreement?
Right.
So do you have someone to partner with you in order to get that, or is
So-
that part of your?
The Parks Department handles that licensing, and they told me, they said the more popular the movie, the higher the fee is. And so I said, well, let's go with, I don't know.
Dory?
Yeah, Dory, I don't know. But just something that.
Lassie
that-
Come Home.
PBS, right, something that people will enjoy.
Yeah,
And,
it was just-
No,
What'd you
not
say?
Old Yeller.
Old Yeller.
Sorry. No, the kids are not watching Old Yeller.
So, but,
I'm never watching it again.
Stacy and Dustin have been helpful. This movie idea came about when I was helping to organize the West Highlands Park cleanup. Some of those residents, afterwards, I said, this is amazing. What else can we do to try to bring community together? And they referenced that years ago there was some sort of movie barbecue gathering that they would have at West Highlands. And so, and the Parks Department was real helpful with them. And so, glad that they'll be working with us again.
Alrighty. Counselor Lakin?
So where do these contributions go? Did I miss that element? So
That was where
I know, that's where you were, and then it made me think, I would just suggest you not have, they're not coming to the city of Tulsa, are they?
Yeah, you don't want them to. That'd be clunky.
Yeah, well,
Very clunky.
I'd have to figure out, work with our Parks Department on how technically that can be received. Because I think some of it is gonna be, let's say for the pencil box, school supplies. So do you just bring the school supplies to the event? Or let's say FOP wants to barbecue and you just bring the grills? I think, that's technical work. I need to get with Parks Department on how technically it can be received. If it's like in-kind donations versus money. Yeah, I don't think I'm asking for money. But I mean, maybe for the backpacks, this is how much these backpacks cost. We want 100 backpacks. Can you purchase these?
Yeah. Well, let me know how I can help you, because we do collect funds and then utilize those funds to purchase a wide variety of things, whether it be the food and the supplies and everything else for the picnic, or the movie Jaws that you're gonna show young kids, while they're floating in a swimming pool.
It is
Not
50
that-
years old.
Yeah, I know. Or even the school supplies. There's a school supply program that we have, but Pencil Box obviously is doing things for teachers, where we're just buying the school supplies direct from the wholesalers.
Right.
At a fraction of the cost, I think a third of the cost, so we can help in any way, or if I can connect you to not-for-profits, there's several of us here who work in the nonprofit world.
Great.
Who are willing and able to help you like that entire side of the table.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you all.
Okay.
All righty, Counselor Ballas.
Oh, yeah, I was just gonna mention, I'm happy to, if you're, like, I was thinking about like River West and the Choice Neighborhoods Initiative stuff over there. I have their like whole, like, I think email partner list.
Okay.
I was just thinking of if you wanted to pull in some other nonprofits or just be like, if you guys wanna come table, especially for the back to school part.
You're right.
Or just some youth serving organizations, I have like whole like lists of that
That's
in my
great.
like nonprofit end of things, so I'm happy to send you like just a bunch of people to hit up and be like, just come table and give out school supplies, please.
Love it, love it. Thank you so much for everyone's support.
All righty, any further discussion, comments? Folks, we are adjourned.